guys. Try that again. Hey guys, it's May 1st and it's the start of our weekly garden tours. So today I'm planting a little bit of our opal basil. And then I'll show you around what's growing in the garden at this time of year. Hey guys, it's Pinky from Pinky's Adventures, for those of you who are just joining us. Today is May 1st and it is our very first garden tour. Right now I'm going to be potting up, or I should say planting, some of our dark purple opal, or dark opal basil, sorry. And then we'll be able to show you the rest of the garden. So stay tuned. Well, as you can see, I've kind of scattered basil and other herb seeds all over. And then these maple seeds are everywhere. I'm pulling these out of my garden like crazy this year. But anyway, so I'm going to plant these. These are good companion plants. So I'm going to plant these in with my row of tomatoes. Yes, I know some of these tomatoes are a little close, but I'm going to heavily prune them. It kind of ended up accident that way, but look, I don't know if you guys can see it on video, but I got tons of little sprouts of the large leaf basil coming up. But we're going to put this dark opal basil in here with our, next to them, with the tomatoes, to give us a little color in this bed. The lettuces won't stay in here, they'll come out soon, but as of right now, they're still in here. So we're going to give that a little love. So you guys can see this. I'm taking a tomato plant down here. But down in here, hold on, let me turn you guys around here for a second. There we go. Alright, see these little guys? These are all my little large leaf basils that are coming up. Another one here. And then these are all, of course, the lettuces and our dark opal basil that I just planted. But this is one of my garden beds. And the tomatoes are really starting to fill out. I'm going to have to start trimming everybody. They all are going to need a trim down through here. But I've got some companion plants in here, several different herbs. The rest of the lettuces that pretty soon will be taken out. And oh, there is another of those pesky little maple seeds. We don't need a maple seedling. I've got tons of these little guys. Alright, so our green beans are doing really well. These are let me look here, because I honestly don't remember what green bean those are. These are the Scarlet runner beans. Okay, so these are Scarlet runners. They are climbing this trellis nicely. They're almost to the top, as you can see. And then down here we have a fun little tray of melons, kale, and Swiss chard, which the kale and Swiss chard, I'm not sure how well it's going to do, it being May 1st. It may not take off very well, but we'll see. And then in here, my Cuca melons, which I've got to tie my trellis up. I know, I still haven't tied it up. But our Cuca Melons, you notice, they are starting to want to climb. So I've got to tie my trellis up so they can climb. And over here we got a couple of cucumber plants. And then our dill and cilantro are looking humongous. So they're looking beautiful. This basil is kind of sad. It got eaten by some critters. And then some of our zinnias. I think those are zinnias. I'll have to look. I don't remember what those are. And then over here, if you remember, we have this really long bed. And it has some lemon balm in here. It also has some lavender poppy flowers, which are these guys right here. And then we've got all of our squashes. And right now, we are getting ready to have some baby zucchinis. Yeah, I'll show you guys. We have some golden zucchini on. They're really tiny. They haven't flowered yet, so I don't know how many of them will actually survive. But we have some cute little tiny golden zucchini on right now. There you go. There's one plant. And then we have this one here. It's got quite a few on it. And let's see. I think there was one more. Yeah, right here. And then this one just has, looks like it's going to have flowers soon. There's another small one. Another small zucchini. The other zucchinis over here are Black Beauty. Right now, she has flowers. But it looks like all the male flowers at the moment. Oh wait, nope, we got a couple female flowers right there trying to come on. Good. Maybe we'll actually get some good zucchini this year. Last year was my first year growing zucchini, so I only got about 5 or 6 off of my plant, of the 4 plants I had. And I know people have told me you should have gotten like a lot more than that. So I don't know what I did to it last year, but now that I've got it in a raised bed this year, last year I had it in the yard where an old tree stump was, and it was kind of where my dog could get to them, so I'm wondering if he ate some of them, because he loves vegetables. He will literally eat tomatoes, cucumbers, squash. I have to be careful of butternut squash because he will eat them before I can make dog treats for him. And yeah, my dog is a vegetable eater, fruit and vegetable. He likes apples. Oh my goodness, apples is his favorite. But yeah, so that's right now the zucchini and the squash portion of the bed. I'll show you some of the snap peas that are on right now, and then we'll go into the other garden portion and I'll show you some of the stuff that's coming up in there. Yes, I have several different garden areas here. For those who don't know, I am an urban gardener. I live in the city. I have about almost an acre, just shy of an acre here, and I use a good quarter of that for a garden. I don't use the front yard. But I probably will use some of the front yard this year because I have a rogue pumpkin, which I'll show you, that I kind of left to rot in the yard. And it's a white pumpkin, and so I left it on the side yard toward the front, and now it's sprouted, and there's like 12 of them sprouted. So if they all live, I'm going to be running them through my front yard. My neighbors are going to love me. My neighbors already love me, though. I've got a few of them that have already gotten plants from me. Several have asked for vegetables, so luckily I've got some good neighbors. They don't really care. They just, as long as I give them vegetables, they don't care what I do. But yeah, I know I got really lucky. But yeah, I'll show you guys where that is. It's quite comical. I just kind of tossed it thinking, it's a white pumpkin. What's it going to do in this portion of the yard? It's a overgrown grass, so I was weeding the other day, and oh, what do you know? But yeah, I'll show you that. Done with my little ramble. Sorry, guys. And let me show you the snap peas. They're finally coming up on the teepee. The boys are very excited about that. And then the rose bush that's next to it, that's kind of attacked the teepee and is sitting on it, really, is full of blooms right now. So I'll show you guys that as well. But let's show you guys. Come on. All right, so here's the climbing teepee, and we have a few sets. I know the sun is horribly bright. Sorry, guys. I know. But this one has a bloom on it, so we got one bloom started. And this one is starting to climb. It's not very high up yet, but this one on this side is climbing a little better. So it's gotten a little further up. And then we have a rogue. I'm not sure what that is from when we used compost from the compost pile that I didn't quite cure all the way. So we have, of course, tomatoes coming up from that. I don't look at any more tomatoes. For those of you who don't know, we have 145 tomato plants out in this yard right now. I don't know if you can see them along this fence line. But all the way from just before that green thing, there's tomatoes all along this edge here. All the way down to the very end in that corner. And then they're going to start coming back up this way till about right here. And then there's a beautyberry, or not a beautyberry, a elderberry there, and an elderberry here. But look at these roses. Aren't they just gorgeous? But see how I said the rose bush is kind of attacking the teepee? It's all the way up there. And then the rose goes all the way down and around. So it's beautiful this year. Pretty excited because this is the one that when we first moved in, this portion of the yard was completely overgrown. And the grass was about that high and weeds. So we didn't even know there was a rose bush there because there was also a stump. And so we took the stump out, and we found the rose bush, cleared it all out, and thought maybe the rose bush had died. But we left it that year just in case. I'm glad we did because it has just become a monster. I'm going to have to make a trellis for it because it is just going bonkers. But we've got that. And then down here I've got some of my wild columbine I just planted that I got from work. I love wild columbine. It's so pretty when it blooms. Even after it blooms, the leaf and foliage on it is just gorgeous. But yeah, it's time. Let's see. Alright, let's take you over to this side of the yard where the greenhouse is. And then my enclosed garden. I'm not sure on the square feet on this. I'll have to look. I'm sure I've written it down somewhere. But here is strawberries that need a bed. Right now they're just kind of in hanging pots. And then this is my experiment this year. Table queen squash. I've got it in a hanging basket so it can just drape over. We'll see how it does. And then I'm not sure what this one is down here. Right there. Thinking that might be another one. And this is a couple bit of herbs. And then in this barrel is our rain collection. And I also have some fish in there. I don't know if you guys can see them on the video. But there's one swimming right now. Close to the front of the bucket. It's really cool when you get a chance to see them swimming. Because the light hits it just right. But let's go in and ding the bells. Since this is the boy's favorite thing. And yes, I have to have a bell in there because my dog can get in there if it's not closed all the way. So that lets me know. But there's this bit over here has tomatoes, a couple of basils, and the growth on the tomatoes is just amazing. I'll show you the other tomatoes. The growth on them is just fantastically. But here is some more snap peas. They're going up to the top of that. And then this trellis will become cucumbers once these are all done. But these snap peas, it's almost time to pick these guys. And then my nephews have a garden bed that they've started. They're not done planting any yet right now. It's just got a whole bunch of tomatoes from when we put the compost in there. Didn't quite let the compost sit enough and get hot enough, so it didn't kill any of the seeds in there. So now we have a monstrous amount of tomatoes that have popped up in their bed. We're very excited about it. I don't know how many we're going to keep in there. I may just, as an experiment, let them all just kind of go and see if they do anything, but we'll see. It'll depend on what they want to put in here. Now, who remembers the potatoes from last time? They've gotten a little bigger. I've added stuff to them, so they had a little mulching. I've mounded them up. This was the third mound that I did on them. So let me show you how tall they've gotten. Alright, so here is our potatoes. And they are almost waist high on me. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but look, they're almost waist high on me. I'm, of course, only 5 foot tall, so that doesn't happen. But they are literally almost waist high on me. That is just so cool. But yeah, these are our potatoes. I'm hoping I get a good harvest off them this year. The last couple times I've tried to do potatoes, they didn't really do anything. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, this year we get some potatoes. And you guys may remember my sad garlic. I had some kind of animal get in here and mess with my garlic. So I don't have no more garlic. See, this one right here is up out of the ground. So I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to stick him back in there. I may cover him up. Let's see if it'll work. I'll try this. May or may not do anything. That's okay. Oh, what's that? Oh. I didn't have a line on it, but that was a garlic bulb. Huh. Alright. So then our yellow beans, which I've never grown yellow beans either, so these are a new fun little thing. And then this is the worm farm that the kids have. Not sure how well it's doing. Actually, I haven't even looked in here to see if we have any worms. We do have a good sized spider web. Hello, beautiful spider. I don't think you guys can see him. He's right there. So I'm not going to stick my hand in his web. I'm sorry, buddy. So I'll stick my hand around here where his web is not. Let's see. Ah, there are worms in here. Good. Yeah. So the boys' worm farm is doing well. They got some worms. Here, little guy. Oop, I'm sorry, spider. I just stuck my finger in your web. Alright. And then our carrots. Remember how small they were? Now, they're looking pretty good. We still got a while before they're probably ready. Most of them are still on the really small side. Let's see. We can grab one out here. That might be done, or close to done. Yeah. See, they're still on the small side. Come on. Oh dear, it does not want to focus on that today. Sorry, guys. But yeah, they're still on the small side. This was the variety that, yeah, I'm not exactly happy with. Whatever variety that was. I think it was one of the an older seed pack I had, which I don't remember the name of it. I'll have to look it up. But there are some new ones hiding underneath, behind all this lettuce, I should say. And this lettuce and kale will be harvested fairly soon. Some of this kale looks about ready to put in salads, and then some of this lettuce it'll be ready to put in salads as well. It's getting pretty good size. And then we have, of course, more squash, and then our broccoli, which broccoli never does well for me. I can never get broccoli to go, so I don't know what I do to broccoli. I think it might be just my region. Broccoli just doesn't like the hot weather. Well, I thought I'd show you the growth on some of these, because some of you may remember here how short these were not too long ago. Well, now they are about double in size. This one especially is doing beautifully. And then we got a couple more over here that are getting taller. And I remember this little guy down here. I honestly thought he was dead because he wasn't doing very well. And now he's looking beautiful. And then our green beans here. And then those two Juliet ones are getting bigger. And no, I do not remember every one of these species. I have tags down here for some of them. There's a few that I forgot to put tags on, so I'll have to wait till the fruit comes in and then hope I remember what they are. But yeah, there's this bed here that's in front of us, that bed, and then the next one down that's all tomatoes. Alright guys, excuse my messy face. Oh, hey Rocco. Guess he's gonna come say hi to us. Thanks guys for coming to our garden tour, and we'll see you next week for the next one. I'm going to try to do these weekly. So now that it's getting warmer, our tomatoes and other plants should start really coming up. So I can't wait to show you guys what it looks like next week and then the week after. So if you get a chance, subscribe to us, like our videos, and thanks guys.